Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I urge you to do so. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in Houston, visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. As always, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you're having a great Thursday. We have an exciting show lined up for you. And as always, you know, my co-host is in the building. He's a serial entrepreneur, multi-time author, real estate broker here in the great state of Texas and known the world over as the Texas Real Estate King. Holding us down, representing Houston, Texas, as always, I would like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience my co-host, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's going on, brother?
What up, Rick? What up, Prime? Great to see you. Great to be in the building. Excited. You know, a busy morning. We're having one of our last luncheons with HAR Fort Bend. Alicia Jama has been our leader over there, and we've done a great job having some amazing shows, amazing luncheon things over there. So I stopped over there this morning, help everybody get set up. Help put some of the right people in the right places, and then I rushed over here, man, because we have an amazing guest. This was a platform that I needed to be a part of myself. I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't have anybody sit in for me today. In this room with this guy myself, man. But other than that, man, Rick, everything's been good, man. I'm excited. I've been talking to the people that helped me with the brand management over at Pure Hustle. Again, thank you, Pure Hustle, for continuing to support the vision, continue to support the serial entrepreneurs that are out there. And, you know, rolling into holiday season. So you got Black Friday specials going on, bundle deals taking place. So go to shoppurehustle.com and check out the gear, man.
You know, it's a lot of really nice things that Pure Hustle is putting out. But, you know, it's kind of funny because I get a lot of inboxing and DMs. They said that there's a model on the Pure Hustle site that is like a dead ringer for you, my dude.
Listen to you, man.
No, serious business.
I've been feeling sexy a little bit, man. I got the downward look going.
So that's you.
It's kind of crazy. So, you know, I'm just saying, man, I ain't built for it, but I'm just saying I might be built for it.
Okay, see, now I can let everybody know that is actually you. They was like, man, they got a guy on there, man. He looked just like Larry.
This guy here, man. This guy here.
No, but absolutely, man. Everybody go to the website, support, man. A lot of great gear there, man. Great brand. Mr. Brooks been doing a great job pushing it. So I ask everybody to please support, man.
No doubt, man.
But
like you about to get ready to say, man, I guess today, man, I'm excited just to having been a part of this platform. I've been watching his movements for a while, man, and there's nothing like what he's doing for the city, what he's doing for that space, and for the culture. So it's not even just for the city of Houston, but just the culture that he's doing and the platforms that he's taking part of, man. So hey, let's get it.
No, we have to. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce the CEO of Invictus Development Group. He's also a real estate developer, but also most importantly to everybody tuning in today, he is an entrepreneur coach. So text, call, go to the next cubicle, touch somebody, tell them to go to Facebook Live, check us out, because I would like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience, Mr. Christopher Senegal.
What's going on, brothers?
How you doing?
Appreciate y'all inviting me out today.
No doubt, man. I couldn't once I got it cleared by you that you was gonna be able to make it, because I'm literally saying I watch your movements and you busy all the time.
Yeah.
So man, just to have an opportunity to when you said I was like, oh yeah, man, let's get this thing moving.
Yeah.
Like this gonna be an exciting show. And
Definitely.
and you're never short on wins, so I'm not gonna take much of your time.
No, absolutely. Because Chris, the first thing I want to ask you, could you please illustrate for our audience the Invictus Development Group, what it is that you guys do, and what inspired you to develop that corporation?
Yeah, so Invictus Development Group is residential development right now. We're focused on investing in the neighborhoods that historically usually get gentrified. They get ignored until they get gentrified. And then no one else has an opportunity from our community to really get in and participate in the gentrification process. So what we're focused on is coming in and revitalizing and attracting the working professionals that maybe grew up in a neighborhood or look like the people from the neighborhood that now live in the suburbs, creating a product in the city that invites them back to live back in the city.
Let's talk about a little bit, Chris, about what's going on in the city of Houston from a gentrification and development standpoint that most residents may not necessarily be in tune to. What's going on right beneath everybody's nose without them knowing it?
I mean, right now in Fifth Ward, there's the same people that built City Center have already acquired the land. They've already got the plans approved. They've already started the infrastructure work to build a mixed-use development that's going to be twice the size of City Center.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Right there in Fifth Ward, just south of I-10.
Wow.
Right on Buffalo Bayou. So imagine the waterway and the woodlands that's on the water combined with City Center right there in Fifth Ward.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, that's an amazing idea because when I think about it, Chris, I joined an organization called Leadership Houston about 2 years ago. And I remember we took a bus route through Fifth Ward. And I remember one of the things that the lady kept saying that the challenge was with the growth was that I think because there was so many churches that churches couldn't be located near places that was selling alcohol. And it's great to see. I guess they got past whatever that was.
Yeah. Well, the area they're in, there really aren't any churches down there. So they're south of I-10.
Okay.
So, yeah,
okay. On the other side.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So the heart of Fifth Ward is north of I-10.
Yeah.
But it's equivalent to what happened to Spring Branch when City Center was built over there. You know, Spring Branch was a pretty poor neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah.
And now the house values are almost as high as Memorial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No doubt
absolutely.
about it.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about from a dollar and cents perspective. The residents in that area, what type of appreciation can they expect being near a development of that size?
I'm not exaggerating when I say 300%. Like literally 300%. And I mean, even already when I bought this property in 2013, and people would list lots for $20,000 and couldn't sell them.
Yeah.
Now you can't buy a lot for less than $50,000.
Come on.
You can't, and the project hasn't even started. You know, it's going to be 2023 before it's actually online.
Wow.
So by that time, the prices will be in the hundreds or 200 just for the land.
For the line.
Yeah, just for the lot. And so the housing values are going to go up tremendously too.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, you know, get in early, get in before it all looks nice. Because if it all looks nice, it's too late. You missed the wave.
No, one of the things that I want to make sure I ask you publicly, because for a lot of people who might follow you online or hear you speak, they might not necessarily know your motivation, because, you know, there are people who could be in your position and keep all this knowledge to themselves, try to make sure their war chest is as full as possible. When you first got involved in real estate development, what was your vision and what was the problem that you saw that made you feel as if, okay, when I get these skills, I'm sharing it with everyone?
Right. Well, for me, number one, I did the whole corporate thing. You know, I went to college, I had the corporate life, and then I hated it. Like, I felt like I was sold a dream. You know, you go to school, get this job, and do this for 30, 40 years, and you're going to be rich. You know, it don't work like that.
Hey,
It didn't
never.
work like that. Right. And so for me, when I was trying to figure out what to do, it's like there was nobody to talk to. It's like the people that had it, and they wanted to brag about what they had, but they didn't want to show you how to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, once I get on,
you know what it is. They always tell you game not free. They always used to say that.
Right. And for me, it's like, man, well, I'm not, you know, it's lonely once you're out there trying to do it on your own. I was like, man, I want to teach as much people how to do it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And so I got into real estate in like 2008. So I flipped my first house here in Houston in 2009. And I did that for like 4 or 5 years. But it was still kind of one of those things where people would ask me about it, and I was like, well, you got to have this much money, you got to do this, you got to have the time, you got to have the contractors. So I was like, well, what can I do that's still related to this that can have a greater impact on the community? And, man, the gentrification narrative just kept coming up over and over and over. Yeah. And I'm like, I know other investors of color that look like me that are flipping houses. Why isn't anybody trying to tackle this?
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, even the builders, I mean, most of the builders, they're building the neighborhoods, but they just kind of do it autonomously on their own.
It's crazy, Chris, because even when I think about it, I remember in 06, in the real estate process, everyone was talking about Third Ward and how the way it looks now.
Yeah.
They were describing that was about to take place,
Yep.
and no one could really wrap their mind around it. They couldn't wrap their mind around the price point that was going to change and any of that. And now to hear you say that, you know, they're about to have a big boom like that when it comes to the Fifth Ward area, and just you getting in at that time. 'Cause I just remember, and I'm like, man, nah, that's like no one could see it, and now it's like. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because when I got this property in 2013, it was an old grocery store and some old houses that was like drug infested prostitutes in there. But it was right on the feet of Highway 59. I could see downtown. Yeah, I was like, eventually it's gonna be worth something. I just gotta hold it long enough for it to be worth something. And I had no idea I was gonna be doing development at that time, but I was just thinking about it from an investor perspective. Yeah, man. And so like 2 years after that, that's when Midway announced that they had bought that property. So I was like, it was a good bet. You know, so so I was waiting for the plans to come out, and they finally came out in like 2016, 17, what they were gonna do. Wow. So, and that's the type of stuff that, you know, it's actually out there for people to know. Most of us don't know where to look. Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things, and it's funny. I think social media gets a bad rap a lot of times, especially in popular culture, because of course everybody wants to bring up all the problems. But I think one of the benefits of social media is that it's giving professionals like yourself a platform to share education. Yeah. Now, the next level of that is that now you forced all of those guys that never wanted to tell us anything. That to stay competitive in the market, now they must share education. So all those people that wanted to keep the doors closed no longer have that option. Right. Could you speak to our audience a little bit about how you've used social media to help you get your message out there? And please share with everyone all your handles so they can follow you on social media, because I don't think we've done that yet.
Okay, yeah. So my main handle is really Instagram, and it's _ INVSTR. So like it's on the screen now. So yeah, perfect. _ investor. There we go. And yeah, my website chrissenegal.com has links to all of my other social media as well. But yeah, the power of social media is it really is a media outlet that you can create for yourself, and you can put whatever content on it that you want. That's right. And so I like the fact that what it's done for me is it's allowed me not only to build an audience of like minds, whereas it would have been impossible for us to find each other before. But it's also allowed me to connect with other people that are actually doing the same type things in other cities. Yeah, and we've been able to share our resources and connect with the other, like the big influencer pages, like the Black Wall Street, the Black Wealth Renaissance, the Buy Black Economics, and they have hundreds of thousands of followers, and that gives us a platform to even educate further, you know, and find the people that want to invest in these type projects. And you know, I really think the best thing it does is it allows me to help other people get ahead, no doubt, and you know, get ahead of the curve.
And I totally agree with you, Chris, because it's even just listening to you say it, and as I watch social media and watch people communicate, and you know, watch as you communicate back to people and stuff like that. Like I literally remember it had to be about a year ago. I was sitting and telling people, like, look, if you're gonna meet other people that's doing the same thing, you got to go to conferences. Like that was the thing. Like that was the only way you was gonna make connections before social media became what it is now. You literally had to go to Atlanta, go to DC, and go to these conferences, exchange business cards, pick up what they learned, and then bring it back. Because that's how we built the real estate brokerage firm and scaled it. I went and got it from somebody else. They taught me some of the secrets that they had going on. I was like, oh, let me do that in Texas. That's not going on. Right. And so now you can actually see it through the like Rick said, because you're sharing, other people feel like they need to share in order to keep up, or at least, you know, give information so that we can grow as a culture. So yeah, man, I agree. That's crazy.
And the ability to actually capture a moment live and just share with people immediately is powerful too.
You know what's nuts, and I don't want anyone who sees this episode to be confused. The reason why Larry and I asked Chris to sit in is because Chris's organization allows those who have never invested in real estate to passively invest funds with his organization. So you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be a licensed real estate agent. And Chris, I wanted to ask you, could you please explain to the audience why real estate investment is something that they shouldn't necessarily be afraid to? It's something that they should absolutely jump into, because right now in Houston, it's like the time is now.
Yeah, it definitely is. So number one, real estate is the number one wealth creator in the country. I mean, if you think about the history of the world, kings made their money off of owning the land.
That's right.
And collecting taxes. Yeah. So that's the oldest wealth building strategy in the world, literally.
Yeah.
And you know, like you said, here in Houston is now the 3rd largest city. The census is going to announce that we're now bigger than Chicago.
Yeah.
We were at least hit by the recession of all the large cities in 2008, 2009. So we have the most stable housing market here. So when you look at things to invest in, it's a safe bet as long as you're investing with people that know what they're doing. And you know, it's not something that's too risky or speculative. That it's a good chance that you will make a better return than you would just leaving money in the bank account for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
And probably a lot better than even the stock market.
Yeah,
over the course of time. So yeah.
And I know I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about how you educate entrepreneurs as well. One of the great things about following you on social media is not just the information that you give, is that you actually do mentor and help out those who show a certain amount of initiative that you're like, okay, let me pour more into them.
Right.
Let's talk about some of your mentees.
Okay.
How do you come across? How do you meet them? And how do they go across making themselves important enough for your eyes?
Man, I meet them everywhere. A couple of the first two, one was from Port Arthur. And one of them was actually my college classmate.
That's real.
Yeah, he went to school. We both went to school for civil engineering. And when he came, he went to the military for a while. Well, I'm sorry, he didn't work. He was a military contractor and came back and was like, man, I really want to get into film. I want to get out of engineering. And so, you know, there's certain principles that all businesses have in common. You know, you're marketing a product. You have to establish a brand. You have to establish how to get your product in front of the target demographic. And you got investment that's required, and you got a rate of return that you need to make to sustain.
That's right.
So what I try to do is help them understand all those basics and give them the books to read, like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, the books that really change your mindset to get you out of the work environment.
Man, I wish I had read that before I went to college, man.
Man, and me too.
What? Especially them two right there. Like two. If I had read those before I went to college, Chris, I know you can relate to it.
Right.
Rick, you can relate to it, man. Like the mindset would have been so much
different
when we attacked the educational aspect of it.
And it was funny, Larry.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I had to plug that, man. Like if I had seen that.
The mindset is the most important part of all of it. Yeah. If it doesn't matter how ambitious you are, if you still got that trade time for dollars work mindset, it's self-defeating, really.
I know, man. Everything as far as you've been really candid, I appreciate that. I thank you so much. And this first segment has been crazy. But we're going to take a short break. Will you please hang in with us for a second segment?
Definitely.
We're going to return with Chris, but I want to take a short break to hear from our sponsors. Stay tuned. We'll be right back to the Prime Real Estate Network. This is Rick Davis, realtor and host of the Prime Real Estate Network. Are you currently leasing or looking to relocate to the Houston area and you find yourself falling in love with a home but aren't quite in a position to purchase? Well, no worries. We offer the Right to Purchase program. We can place you in the home of your dreams at current market rental rates and give you up to 3 years to buy. Did you know that a majority of the homes that are for sale offer better quality than those that are for rent? So why wait? Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Let me and my team help you purchase a home that you and your family can fall in love with. Give me a call today at 832-928-3963. And remember to follow the Prime Real Estate Network podcast on YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Be blessed. Welcome back to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I urge you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can follow me at Prime Real Estate Rick on Facebook and Instagram. As always, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, check us out at brooksanddavis.com. And if you're looking for the latest and greatest in men's and women's hats and fedoras, you can always visit our sponsor at shopelitestyle.com. The Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, riding shotgun as always, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm enjoying enjoying the message this evening, man. It's crazy because I've been excited to have someone like Chris on the show, especially when it comes to the subject of buy back the block, right? Because you hear so many people say it, but the one difference that Chris has is he's literally buying the block to assist us with repurchasing it. Because a lot of times others are coming to our community, they'll buy the whole block, but then they put it where the people that were raised in that community, that spent their life in that community, can't purchase to get back in that community. And it always would always struck, after 18 years in this business, that would always run me hot. That's the best I can describe it. I get hot just thinking about it, because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to put people back over there that want to be there, and they can't even buy. But that's one of the things that the mission that Chris is on, that I've seen, that excites me every time I get a chance to get in front of his brother and talk to him.
Absolutely. And if you just happen to tune into the Prime Real Estate Network now and you missed the first segment, I want to introduce our guest. He is a real estate developer, entrepreneur coach, and he's also the CEO of Invictus Development Group. Sitting in with us for the whole half hour today is Mr. Christopher Senegal, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm great. Loving the show.
Hey, man, I'm glad you were able to sit in. The first half was fire. I want to get an opportunity, and I want to make sure the audience has a little bit more insight into your background. But before we get into that, I know in the first segment you were talking about the development of Fifth Ward, how there's going to be a really large entertainment hub that's going to be built there. But the thing that we haven't gone into is that you currently have a development project already underway in the Fifth Ward. Can you talk to our audience a little bit about how that's going, how long that's been under construction, and a little bit more about that project?
Sure. So I have a block of property that I purchased back in 2013, back when there was an old grocery store and some houses, and I really didn't know what I was going to do with it at that point in time, but I just knew they had a downtown view. It was right on the feeder to 59, 5 minutes from everything. So thankfully everything kind of lined up when Midway bought that property and decided to do that project. And what it did for me is it allowed me an opportunity to kind of tackle that gentrification discussion that we always have. And I always knew that there was a solution to it where we can participate in it in a positive way, but nobody was doing it. So it's always a debate. So I figured it took somebody out there taking action. So I figured it might as well be me take that risk. So now I'm building 14 townhomes there, and I'm keeping a market rate. I know a lot of times when we think about our communities, we focus on the low income because we focus on the people that are still there. But we gotta create a way to bring the people that decided to do something and get out those neighborhoods.
All those professionals.
We got to bring them back, and we need that demographic back. If we ever want the grocery stores and everything to come back, they look for income, they look for all that kind of stuff.
That's right.
And so that's my target audience. That's my mission. And so I've built the first 3. We got 2 of them sold. We got 2 young African American women that work downtown. Have purchased the first 2. And so I pre-sold another one. There's another young black guy working professional. So bringing that whole narrative to life and just proving that the model can work. And what I'm most excited about is coming back to them in 3 or 4 years and asking them how much their houses have appreciated in value.
That'd be perfect.
No doubt about it.
And I mean, for everyone that's would like to stop by and take a look at that, do you have an address, or how can they go about finding that information?
The address is 2511 Deschamps. It's a French, so it's DESCHAUMES. And it's on HAR, HAR, 2511 Deschamps. That's the one that's still available for sale. And like I said, we're getting ready to start construction on 3 more. So it'll be a total of 14.
And I'll make sure I share that listing with everyone on my Facebook page this afternoon after the show. So if you're interested in getting some information, I'll make sure I share that on my page as well.
Awesome.
Oh, man. I want to make sure we ask you because this is something we ask all of our guests because, by the time you're actually sitting here in this seat, you've already established yourself in the market, you developed your corporation. Because you talked to our audience a little bit about your professional development. Was there a mentor? Was there a member of your family that was an entrepreneur or a business owner that kind of inspired you when you were young?
I did not. Well, actually, my mom did own her own business. But, she was a psychologist. But I think a lot of especially in that household, it was never an emphasis on me also being an entrepreneur. I feel like a lot of times we own businesses just because we don't want to work for somebody that don't really pass the knowledge on to the next generation of how it can grow to something bigger. And I wish she would have done more of that.
I wonder if they even, it's crazy because I wonder if they even focused on the term entrepreneur back then.
I don't think they did.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't see it much. Even people saying mentor wasn't used as often.
Right.
So
it's a different. I think it's a different level of thought process.
Yeah.
That has to come with it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And so mom was an entrepreneur in her
Yeah,
own right? Okay.
Yeah, had her own business. My dad worked in oil and gas, but I didn't really get a mentor until I got out of college, and I realized everything I thought I wanted to do wasn't gonna work. I mean, I really got the corporate world, and I was like, you know, I got everything I wanted. You know, I got the salary, I got the good job, and I was working under my boss. She was like 10 years older than me, and she was making almost twice as much as me, but she was still miserable. I was like, man, I don't want to do this first. I can't do this. I can't do that. So my first real mentor was my contractor. When I came here and started buying houses, because he was also an investor.
Okay.
And he actually was like one of the biggest contractors for home investors.
Okay.
So he was flipping like 30, 40 houses for them a month. And I was just watching that lifestyle that he was living, and he didn't go to college.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you know, so that was really what really shifted my mindset. And then that combined with reading those books we were talking about, Rich Dad Poor Dad and Think and Grow Rich, man, that catapulted me like strictly all the way to entrepreneurship.
Man. What would you credit as the biggest thing you've learned as an entrepreneur? What is one of the main things that has totally taken hold within you as an entrepreneur as you've journeyed through the space?
The most important thing to me is learning to find people that are already experts at what you're trying to do and leverage their knowledge and expertise, and not trying to figure it out on my own. You know, because I mean, school really ingrains that in you, that you have to figure things out on your own.
Every day, that's how they do it.
Yeah.
That didn't take your money.
Right. And you got to be right more than 90% of the time if you want to be the top tier. You want to be an A student. You want to be a man roll. You know, in real life, you're going to fail a whole lot more than that.
That's right.
And you still can be very successful. So I think those two things right there are the things that really, really changed my perspective on everything.
And any advice that you would like to share with those aspiring real estate investors, passive or those who want to develop their own group? What piece of advice would you give them?
Network. Networking is the most important thing. Social media is a great start, but then, you know, get out there and actually, you know, learn. You know, get on YouTube and watch some videos. Go to these real estate investor networking events, and you know, get with the people that are actually doing what you're trying to do. So nothing more important than that. And
you guys hear Chris saying that, and when I say that, literally I'm out at events and I'm seeing him actively talking to people and staying engaged. These are the places that you go to attend to find like-minded friends. You know, it's not just through social media, but people want to physically see you out there as well. So
absolutely,
you know what Chris is saying is just it's the foundation behind you being able to have the growth to get into not only the real estate investment space, but even the entrepreneur space as well. So how's your coaching and stuff like that been going? Are things pretty exciting when it comes to your coaching?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty selective about who I take on the program, and they have to show like some real signs of ambition. And yeah, man, it's going really well. I've got some students that are already closing deals on the real estate side. I've got a couple of my entrepreneurship, my older students who are now full-time entrepreneurs. You know, they were able to leave their job. You know, so
man.
You know, one of the cool things, and I know we don't have a lot of time, which I'm telling you, because we don't have a lot of time with Chris, but I want to touch on your website, ChrisSenegal.com, because one of the things that I noticed after going over your site is what's really powerful is that a lot of the messages that you share personally, you have on your website.
Right, yeah.
So anyone who may not be in Houston, who may not be able to just actually come out, shake your hand, meet you personally, talk a little bit about your website and why you decided to put those lessons on there.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it like a central hub for everybody. Well, number one is it's like your online business card. And I want people to, when they look up my name, I want the website to be the first thing they see. So this podcast to be on there. I put all the recent stuff I do. I have a free ebook on there about several ways to make money that don't require you to have a lot of money.
No doubt.
Yeah, just a little sweat equity.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's just the general message that I want everybody to grasp, and the things that I feel like are most pertinent. I even have a list of 10 books on there because that's one thing people always ask me, you know, what should I read?
No doubt.
Absolutely, no doubt.
It's all there, and it's got a link right directly to Amazon, so you can go get it.
I've seen it. I like it. I was like, man, I need to get my website, my link tree set up like this. That's what I was thinking, man.
Come on, man. You know, I've been, like I said, I've been diligently researching everything for the past week, so I'm really impressed with your website.
I'm sorry. So that link in my bio is actually it's called Super Social.
Super social.
So
okay.
it's a young black girl from California that started that. It's her version of Linktree, but it's way better.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because literally when you see it, you flip through it. It's
Yeah.
like, man, it's dope.
Uh-huh.
You know, yeah.
No,
So
I'm gonna
okay.
check for it. I'm glad you put that on.
So there's a free version, and then there's one where you can subscribe. You can add a lot more links and all kind of stuff to it.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do videos. You can do podcasts. You can.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
What's the name of it again? Let's give her a plug, man.
It's super.social.
Shout out to Super
I
Social.
show mad
Yeah.
love right now.
Yeah.
I know, man,
Free
but I
shout
just
out,
know.
sister.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
man. Keep up the grind.
Yeah.
For those viewers and people in the audience who are lucky enough to be in Houston,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about the event that you have going on this evening, where they can come out and actually have an opportunity to meet you personally.
So we're going to be at Culture, which is a restaurant downtown. The Black MBA Association has me as a guest speaker tonight, and I'm gonna be talking about the financial kind of the same things we're talking about today. The financial benefits and the socioeconomic benefits of actually buying in gentrifying neighborhoods, and dispelling a lot of myths that we have especially as our people, about being scared to move back to our own communities while other people are walking their dogs down the street.
For real. And that's one of the things, it's so tough because we all discuss these things when we're in private settings, but it's really good and therapeutic for myself personally for us to be able to talk about these things publicly. So personally, I want to thank you so much. I have no doubt that our viewers, listeners will take so much from this episode that they can use now and into the future. So I want to thank you personally. Mr. Brooks, any message you want to share with the audience before we sign out this week, brother?
Nope, I'll be out at the Black MBA event tonight with Chris, man. I can never get enough of this knowledge, man. Real estate, man. So
no doubt.
Like
you're in the city,
we all
get out
feed
there.
each other.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how we
Yeah.
move, man. And when one grows, everybody grows. People just don't get it, but that's exactly how this thing works.
Right.
Hey, man, I want to thank everybody who tuned in this week. So on behalf of myself, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, and our guest this week, Mr. Christopher Senegal, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I thank you all, and we'll see you all next Thursday.
Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC is marketing a property for sale right now that you can buy. These properties range from land lots for under $20,000 to move-in ready homes $500,000 and more, along with everything in between. To see this week's list of properties for sale you can buy now, go to bit.ly/BDREF weekly list. That's bit.ly/BDREF weekly list. If you plan on selling some real estate and you need it on the weekly list, call 713-665-8329 to speak with someone about it.